I'd like to ask, in a situation whereby a lady is being persuaded or being forced out of her own will by her parents or guardians to marry an uneducated man or an illiterate man, all in the name of money or riches, what should that lady do? Or is there hope, is there faith for such marriage to succeed?
When you are married or you get into something, let me say, whatever you are forced into or you get into under duress, there is every tendency for that thing to collapse or fail. You see, parents are not expected to force their children into marriage all in the name of money. Because marriage is something that has to do with both parties, the man and the lady. So by the time you force your daughter into marrying somebody because of his money, maybe to eradicate poverty from the family, I tell you, without considering the joy of that lady, there is every tendency for that marriage to fail. That marriage will definitely fail. Except a lady with lots of patience, tolerance, endurance. But who is ready to endure something that has to do with your feelings? You know? So it is not right for parents to force their daughters into what? Marriage, all in the name of money. It is not right at all. It is not right at all. It is not right. So I think ladies out there should be able to stand their ground in times like that. You should be able to stand and define yourself to your parents that you cannot trade your joy for what? Money. You cannot exchange your peace. This is a lifetime thing. This is something that has to do with your today, your tomorrow, your future. This is something that has to do with you bringing forth children. And you look at the face of the children you have, you are not seeing the copy, or you are not seeing you are not being able to duplicate the man you have in mind. I tell you the truth, these things can lead to transfer of aggression on the children. So ladies are not expected to be forced into marriage because of money. Yes?
Okay. My own question is sequel to her own question, because she asked, what can anyone do who is being forced into a marriage in that kind of scenario when you don't like?
You stand your ground. Stand your ground. I don't know if you understand. You stand your ground that I do not want to marry this person. You make them at least, first of all, you call your parents. Have one-on-one talk, heart-to-heart talk. They are your parents. You ask them some questions such as, do you care about my feelings? Have you bothered to know how I feel? Are you interested in my joy, my peace? Questions like that. Heart-to-heart talks with your parents. You let them know that you don't feel like having anything to do with this man. You let them know that this is your life and you've got your life to live. You let them know that they're not going to live in that marriage with you. You let them know you have a lot to... this is a lifetime thing. Marriage is like, getting into the grave. Coming out of it means you are a failure. And you wouldn't want to be seen as a failure. So you have to first of all discuss with them, express your feelings to them. Now, failure to listen to you, then at least as a mature someone, before you start talking about marriage, you must have got to the age of accountability, you must have reached the state of maturity to be able to know, let them know you know what is good for you. So you have to at least dialogue with them, discuss with them, make them understand how you feel. Very, very necessary.
Okay. Now, for someone who has finally been persuaded into that marriage, is there hope for that person?
If you are persuaded and then you are okay, out of your wish, isn't it?
Yes, the person has finally gone into the marriage.
Marriage.
Is there
maybe to save the situation at that particular time. All right, a lot of marriages are like that in this our present time. You know, I know the young lady whose father was very, very sick, and then this illiterate man came into her life, you know, and then she needed to save the life of her lovely father. The family, you know, persuaded her, accept this man so that this man can help them to pay the hospital bill, you know, and just because of the father, she got into it. Let me tell you, there is no hope of survival of that marriage. You see, when we talk about, the pain there is this, that lady will never be happy. But because she accepted, but because the man has paid a particular price at that material time when the family needed him most, the lady will just be enduring in that marriage. And I tell people, marriage is not to be endured, but to be enjoyed. So she has to endure. She just be living the life of endurance. Because she accepted, and because the man has paid the price. And you know what? Situations like this have disadvantage. So there's no hope of being happy, other than what? The only thing there is for her to what? To endure. She will be enduring that marriage. She can never enjoy the marriage.
Thank you very much for the insight. I would like to ask, you know, these days we have what we call adult education, whereby people actually get married, and at that point in time, probably they were not educated, and along the line they decided to further their education. So in a situation whereby the spouse, either the woman or the man, that's the husband or the wife, is not eager or is not willing to pursue the education, what can be done in such a situation?
Okay, going back to the topic, money or education. Money or education. Now, if someone, before you think of sending an adult back to school, first of all, ask yourself, does he or she have what it takes to go to school? Can she assimilate? What is that? Does she have the brain to even accommodate things? You know, academically, is she there? After all, it's not everyone that went to school and finished up from school. Some were not able to assimilate and they dropped out. Some were dropped out by the school as a result of not being able to cope. You know, now things like that. If someone is not educated, and then you have this mind that let the person go to school, and the person is not willing to go to school, then are you going to kill yourself? You can only take a horse to the river. You can't force the horse to what? To drink. The person might just go there and waste the money. After all, we have so many NSAs in school. No future what? Ambition. They are just in school, but they are not in school. So then what will you do? You saw the person before you marry the person that is an illiterate. So you have to endure. Marriage is all about what? Endurance. You have to tolerate the person. And endurance does not go with sweetness. Endurance goes with bitterness. Like I said earlier, I said there are so many disadvantages in getting married under duress. You know, if you are interested to know of the disadvantages, there are so many of it. So if the person is not willing, there is nothing you can do rather than to what? To endure.